Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our webinar this evening. My name's Jim Bruce. I'm the VikingGenetics Country Manager for Australia and New Zealand. It's a very great pleasure to welcome all our guests to our webinar this evening, where we will talk through our new spring Sire directory. If I can just get to my next slide. So tonight we're going to run through some of the highlights of the bulls. We're also going to take a look at the structure of the catalogue and just see some of the changes to the catalogue format and some of the special features that we have in the catalogue that's currently in production and should hit the post this week or early next week. Before I go much further, I'd like to welcome my partner in crime, Senior Breeding Advisor here at Viking Australia, Erik Thompson. Welcome, Erik. I'd also like to a very, very warm welcome to our Nordic guests. Hanna Driscoll is our Product Manager for VikingHolstein. Hanna, are you in Sweden or Denmark today?
I'm in Sweden.
So Hanna's joining us from Sweden. Jakob Voergaard is the Product Manager for VikingRed, and you'll be in Denmark today.
Yes, I will, and evening, everybody.
Fantastic. And Peter Larson was unable to join us last time we did this event, and it's a very warm welcome to Peter joining the webinar for us for the first time. Peter is Senior Breeding Manager and Product Manager for VikingJersey, and known around the world in the Jersey breed as one of the long-lasting Jersey specialists in the breed. So welcome to our three specialists. We'll come back to them a little later. I'd like to run through a little bit of housekeeping off the top. And first of all, the webinar is being recorded and a link will be sent to all participants at the conclusion via email. All webinar participants are muted. Now that will cause you no discomfort. It's only a virtual muting. So that shouldn't cause you any great discomfort. But that is purely so that we can get through the program within the allotted time. There is a chat function. If you look at the screen on the right-hand side, there is a chat function where you can participate in the conversation. We'll monitor that and we'll try to pick up on your comments there. Similarly, there is a question function, and we do, if we can get through the program in good time, we do have a question and answer session at the end. So please make use of that facility. So now bear with me while I switch screens, and I'd like to go across and take a look at our new Sire directory that we've just recently finished, and it is at the printers right now. Let me click a few screens and up it comes. So you've, as I say, you will receive a link at the conclusion of the webinar, and it will take you to this page on our website, and you'll scroll down and you'll see the catalogue here. Click on that catalogue icon and up will come the book. This is how the new book will look for the spring this season. As I say, I'll very quickly just show some of the features, and then we'll get back to the team and we'll run through some of the highlights in the bulls. One of the major changes that we've made, when you come into the catalogue, you'll notice that the similar format to the previous catalogue, where we'll have trait leaders at the beginning following a breed introduction. But here you'll see we've got bulls where we are featuring, and we'll use the little microscope to show the ABV performance tab on the side, and you'll see above the data panels ABV performance. So we're showing these bulls with their full ABV proof, and then as we run through, hopefully it'll keep up with me, we'll get to pages where we'll show bulls with a full NTM proof. In our previous catalogue, we had a mixture of both sets of data, and some customers found that to be confusing, and looking at other catalogues where the data was mixed, I also found it confusing. So we've decided to show a pure ABV proof and a pure NTM proof. Now, some bulls will be shown using their ABVs only. Some will be shown using NTM data only. Some will be shown using both. Our intention is to give you the data that gives the most accurate look at how the bull will work for you. And in some instances where both proofs give a really accurate presentation, we'll give you both so that you can use the one that you're more comfortable with. At the conclusion of each breed section, there is a double page spread for Holsteins and it's a single page spread for the other breeds, where all of the ABVs and all of the NTM data is summarized in a one-page table. So nothing hidden, nothing concealed in our catalogue. We're just trying to present to you the most accurate, the most meaningful information that we can so that you can accurately select the size that you're looking for. So each of the breed sections run in the same format. I'll go straight to the end. At the rear of the catalogue on the back page, you will find a little hand will pop up, which shows that this is a live link. This link will take you to a copy of this brochure that's a 32-page explanation of the NTM evaluation. If you're unfamiliar with NTM, I recommend that you head to that download and take a look, and you'll learn how that NTM works. So now I will go back to our presentation. I'm sure you're seeing a whole lot of screens that you probably didn't expect you to see. Now someone will let me know that we can see that 3 bull slide again up on the screen. So I think we're in good shape. So that's how our catalogue will look. As I say, it's gone to the printer already and should be in the post either at the end of this week or early next week. Importantly, you will have an access to that copy online. When you do get to that online copy, there is an option to download a PDF version if you want to make your own copy. So without any further ado, let's stop hearing from me and let's start listening to our gathered experts. And we're going to kick off the show with our Holstein team. And to lead the conversation, I'd like to hand over to Hanna Driscoll, our product manager, coming to us all the way from Sweden this evening. Hanna, a very, very warm welcome and great thanks to you for participating. Hanna's going to kick off with V8 Crown. Over to you, Hanna.
Thank you very much. I'm product manager for the VikingHolstein breeding program, and the goal for VikingHolstein is to we will have a bull portfolio with large variation and different profiles suitable for both our home markets and the export markets. And we have big focus on health traits and modern medium-sized cows with high production, efficiency, and profitability. And the first bull I'd like to present to you is VH Crown. And he is one of our top proven VikingHolstein sires. And so far, he has close to 2,000 daughters in production in the Nordic countries. And his NTM is now at plus 27. And he is an excellent production sire with a high yield index at 126. And he will give you daughters producing high volumes of milk and many kilos of fat and protein. His daughters will have a good persistency over the lactations. And VH Crown is also A2A2. He transmits also very nice health traits like good fertility, other health and general health like resistance to ketosis and other metabolic diseases. And his daughters have easy calvings. And he will give you cows with nice bodies and good rump, good feet and legs, and nice udders. The others have strong ligament and teats bigger than average. He is a good combination of high production, health, and conformation. And he will also give you feed-efficient cows with good longevity. And it's a very strong cow family behind VH Crown. His dam has an average production of fantastic 16,200 kilos of milk with 4.14% fat and 3.6% protein. this sums up to over 1,250 kilos of fat and protein per year. And she's also she's classified with 91 points in total in her second lactation. And also the maternal grandam produced in average 13,400 kilos of milk with 4.7% fat and 3.7% protein, and was classified 88. So strong, high-producing cows behind this bull. And the cow in the picture to the right is a crown daughter from Denmark in her first lactation.
Hanna, I think Crown's been in our team here in Australia for a little while, and may have slipped under the radar for a few people. He's probably producing a type package that a lot of people would be surprised to see. On the Australian index, where, as it shows on the screen there, he has a BPI of 376, but he's got a 106 overall type composite and a 103 overall memory composite as well. So he looks very good on his confirmation in the Nordic evaluation, and certainly here as well. Erik, did you have anything you wanted to add on Crown as we go through?
Yes, and he's got just that moderate frame that so many farmers are now looking for. So his stature's 99, a good muzzle width of 102. So he's just that medium frame, high producing, high milk, high kilogram cows. So he's certainly one to look out for.
I think too, with 2,000 daughters, as Hanna has told us in the Nordic evaluation, we've probably not seen the best of him yet. So a great first bull to kick off the presentation, Hanna. So we'll roll through to your second bull, Hanna, if you're ready.
Yes, please.
Nada is another bull that we've had here in our offering for a little while. So what can you tell us in the latest news for Nada?
Nada, he's a genomic bull, and he's born in 2019, but he's keeping his NTM value and is now at plus 35. And he has a very nice production profile, both for milk volume and also higher levels of solids in the milk. And he has a strong health profile with superior indices for calving traits. And he also provides very good hoof health, fertility, udder health, and very good longevity. And he will give you strong cows with deeper bodies and wider chest and a good rump. And his daughter will have nice feet and legs and excellent udders in nice balance, with strong attachments and ligaments and very good teeth size. So he's also a good example of a genomic bull with good production, good conformation, and excellent health traits. And the dam of VH Nada, picture in the upper right corner here, is a VH Ramis cow, and she has an average production of 14,300 kilos of milk with 4.21% fat and 3.62% protein, over 1,100 kilos of fat and protein per year. And in her last milk recording test earlier this month, she produced 46 kilos of milk, and later she will have her next calf later this year. So she's quite she has milked for some time and still producing high levels of milk. And she's classified 87 with 88 points on udders. And she is also the dam of VH Laurits, who's also presented in the Sire catalog. Sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And in the other cow in the lower corner is the maternal grandam of VH Nada. She is a Fageno cow, and She's a little special cow for VikingGenetics because she was the first Danish-born heifer in our Viking embryo program. And she's also a bull dam to a red bull named VikingRed, who was very popular some years ago. And her average production is 13,000 kilos of milk with high levels of solids, 4.67% fat and 3.51% protein in average per year. And her lifetime production is close to 60,000 kilos of milk. And in her third lactation, she was classified 87. So strong cows and a strong cow family behind the VH Nada as well.
Excellent. Now, you'll find Nada in the catalogue described using ABVs. He sits at 430 BPI, and his local profile here shows all the same features, and that's why we've used the local evaluation in the catalogue. Shows those same features, a 103 composite on overall type and 104 on memory. So it shows that type component, the conformation, as well as the calving ease and great other traits. So that's where you'll find him in the catalogue. Thank you, Hanna. We'll now don't go away anywhere, Hanna. We'll keep you there to comment on the other bulls as Erik rolls through. And Erik, if you'd like to pick up the story here with our next bull, which is VH Klim.
Sure. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's great to have you all participate. And Hanna, if you can add anything to what I say, please do so. We like to keep it nice and open and airy. So Klim was a bull that took our attention because his numbers came up well in the Australian system with a BPI of 464. And with a score like that, he's in the top 1% of Holstein sires in Australia. And just interesting that he had some really good health traits, very good udder health, longevity. And he's a sire with very good feet and legs, which is a little bit harder to get at present. There's quite a lot of sires that could do with a little bit better scores for feet and legs. Klim is very good there. And also he's got longer teats and that are a little wider in the rear, which is also what people are looking for. And stature at 98, chest at 102, body depth 100, muzzle width 103, and 48 kilos of fat plus protein make him a very interesting and an attractive sire on the Australian system. So please have a good look at VH Klim.
Very good.
Now, the second sire is probably needs no introduction, VH Ascari. Interestingly, we've had even more interest in him this year than last year. I guess that's because he's stayed up around that top echelon. He's still a BPI 479 sire. And what makes him so attractive is that he's turned out to be exceptional calving ease sire here. As you can see, he's got a gestation length of minus 10 days. So those calves are just popping out, and such a benefit too, to even use the sire at the tail end of your joining to have your cows, calve around that week or a bit better earlier they normally would, is bringing your cows back into their tight calving pattern. So you should look at that. So the nice small born calves that then go on to grow well and do very well. He's also in the top band of Australian sires for daughter fertility. It's currently sitting at 117. He has milk and components, 53 kilos of fat and protein combined. And there again, that nice moderate frame again that so many are looking for, very well balanced with stature and chest both at 102 and muzzle 101. I'll need to throw it in the hoof health, which is not on the ABV. You can't see that, but you can turn to the NTM and have a look. His hoof health's 117, so very good resistance to your hoof health problems, and chiefly in Australia, sole hemorrhage and white line separation are included in those 8 traits. So that's something a little bit special on the Viking side that can mean a lot to your bottom line. And the new SI index, sustainability index, that's been developed here by DataGene, he ranks high in that as well.
Yeah, so Ascari is one of those bulls that actually translates very well and gives a really good picture on both the ABVs and on NTM. So he's in the catalogue twice, and you can see the full proof on Ascari from both evaluations.
Okay, and then we've got Barford. Now, Barford is Australia's highest ranked feed save sire, and that's by a country mile. His ABV is 164 for that. So that's quite substantial. I know that he's a bit of a bull of the future, really. I don't know how many people in Australia are looking at feed index, but I can tell you into the future, if you're not looking at it now, you will eventually, because it's all to do with profitability on your farm business. So he also carries with him elite daughter fertility and health. His ABV is 118 for daughter fertility. He's got a very good cell count score and mastitis resistance as well. So a very, very health-driven bull. He will bring his stature down. Stature is 90 on the ABVs. And don't think that's small, because that's by any means not. I was talking to Peter Thurn about stature, and he said you need bulls around that in the low 90s to actually start to see a reduction. So if you're looking to reduce your Holstein size, is using 102 or 3 or 4, you're still making it bigger. So if you want to see a physical difference, you need to be in those low 90s on ABV for stature. And of course, the chest and body 96 and body depth 91. And when that's greater than stature, you've still got powerful animals, because that's all about balance. If you've got a sire that's 111 and he's 91 for chest, well, I wouldn't touch him. But if he's 90 for stature and 91 for body depth and chest, I don't have a problem with that, because that's a well-balanced individual sire. Calving ease is also super at 104 on ABVs, but he's just recently, with data in, climbed 116 on that on NTM, so he can be used so easily, conventional or sexed on maiden heifers. If you use him and start pulling calves out, get the catalogue, get my number, and give me a ring, and I'll come and help you, because I won't have to get out of bed. All right.
Right. I'll be handing out Erik's phone number at the end of the presentation.
Well, it's just a fact. It's super. So, Scovely P, we've got a P sire here, which is the next one. Production and milking speed, he's almost 50 kilos of fat plus protein. We've been very focused on health in our Holsteins in the past, and we still are, but we've got clients that have been very successful now in building their herd health and fertility, and cows are lasting longer. And some said, well, hey, Erik, let's poke a bit of milk into these babies as well. So we've got a selection of sires that are going to give you more milk as well, because it's not all about health, because at the end of the day, you have to get some production to pay your bills. But you do want your cows to last a long time, because it costs so much to rear your replacements. And one lactation heifers are not desirable for anybody. So it's a matter of striking that right balance and having a mixture of the different types of size, so that you can mix and match and have them complement each other as they come through. Because as we've learned in the past, if you just breed for one thing all the time, you will get it, but lots of other traits will suffer. So it's all about balance. Okay, fertility, health, and calving ease are all on the higher side. 114 for daughter fertility, cell count, survival, it's all good, it's all there. And calving ease is also not a problem. I think it's 103, so sexed on maiden heifers is a piece of cake for Scovely P as well, as most of our Holsteins are calving ease bulls.
Scovely's another one, Erik, that he also gets a 441 BPI and a 29 NTM, and the data looks good on both evaluations, so he appears twice in the catalogue, so that everyone can see all the full details there.
Yeah.
Another one that comes across into both evaluations very, very well. Yeah, and look, and that makes it easy for us, because when they tick the boxes on both indexes, it's no arguments, is there? I mean, he got a blue ribbon in both countries, so it's pretty easy to use bulls like this. Now, I must look at Heat PP, the next bull, and he's entering. Well, he's deep into his second year.
here now as well, and he's been very popular and continues to be. And the good news on him on ABV is in the latest run he's actually gone positive for teat length, which is a big bonus because there's so many bulls out with short teats. It's amazing, and it's become a real problem for farmers, and we have to listen. There's no use saying they're just a little bit shorter. Well, if they're below 100, they're shorter. They're shorter than average. No arguments about it. It is what it is. So he's 101, 90 for rare teat placements, which is also fantastic. That's right where they need to be. A full 10 points is super. They could probably even go further. And front 105. So his length and placement's pretty nice. And he is a fully polled sire with well over 400 litres and 43 kilos of fat plus protein. So he's no slouch in the bucket either. And fertility's at a premium at 114, and cell count and survival are all there as well. So he's a very safe bull to use, and he's still well over that 400 BPI, which is a bit of a benchmark for so many.
He's one of those rare combinations of PP, A2, calving ease, and really no holes elsewhere. He can be used really comfortably.
Interestingly, folks, we've got a few clients looking not only for the A22s become exceptionally big, and a bull has to be damn good for us now to bring him into the country if he's not A22, because some don't worry about it too much, but if there's two bulls the same, one's A22, they'll grab the A22, and there's so many that's all they will use. But also that BB capicasein starting to rear its head as well, because that's the one you need for quality cheese. I believe you get more cheese per litre of milk, good quality cheese, and that's becoming a noticeable desire as well here in Australia. And just by chance, a lot of the VikingHolstein bulls have the BB. I think nearly all of our new team this year, they're all BB and A22. So we'll take that every time. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to run the next sire, Romello. Now, I've popped these in again. Romello's been around for a while, and I think it's important to consider bulls, good bulls, second tier bulls, like second mating bulls that are going to do so much for your herd. Now, Romello's gone up. He's come back. But he's went from autumn 331 BPI, proven, Australian proven, right through 331 back up to 373, and it's pretty nice when that happens. And Australian proven, his daughter fertility is 115, and someone can write in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm tipping that in the top 20 Australian proven, I think that would be the highest daughter fertility Holstein. Don't hold me to it, but if he's not, he's right up there in the mix, but I think that's true. So good value bull, because you'll always do well with bulls like this. And he's got that stature of 92, and he's got the chest of 101, so there's a big difference there. He's got a bit of strength, this bull. They're a bit shorter, and he's got power through the chest. You can see that on that daughter there below the sire. So it makes him an excellent second-round sire. And we shouldn't always be talking about the latest stuff, because there's some damn good older proven bulls there that need recognition. And that brings me to the next slide, Jim.
Sorry, I was just answering a question in the chat. Nice to have people firing some questions in on the chat. We'll have to keep moving here, Eric. Pick up the pace, mate.
What's that?
We'll have to keep moving here. Pick up the pace, my friend.
Yeah, I put on the stopwatch. Booth, same situation. He's gone from 276 BPI to 328. Great pin set 105, great teat length 107, and rear placement 96, and plenty of milk. So great value, good backup sire for those later joinings. And that's all I've got. Oh, Swish, NTM, one more.
Yeah, yes.
Or two, Swish. This is what I call a high NTM sire. Lots of our clients love. This is the best NTM sire we can get. NTM 42. Just such a good bull. Stature 101, chest 108, body depth 105. Close to a deviation, stronger for all health traits. Lovely udders, longer, thicker teats, a deviation for both. And he's just so nice through his NTM proof. And people that pay a lot of attention to NTM, already very popular in the autumn, and it'll be a big bull for the spring as well. And you can see that the frame on that bull, that he just oozes strength. And the last one quickly is a fully polled red carrying Holstein. We do like him because he's a production bull with over 600 litres and 46 kilos of fat and protein. But what draws my attention to him is for a fully polled Holstein, his stature's 102 and chest is 108, and that's a bit rare for polled sires. They can tend to be a bit tall and narrow, and he's one with some strength. Out of confirmations, 105, and teats are a bit longer too at 102. So have a look at him, and I'll wrap it up there because I must have gone over time.
Well done, Erik. I think just finishing on Sly is a great bull to finish on. We did speak to a breeder here in Australia that has been focusing on poll, and when they found Sly, they were really excited to find a homozygous poll bull that does have that body strength that's often lacking in a lot of the polled sires. A2 and BB to boot. He really has everything going for him, and I think he's a bit of a game changer in that PP profile bull. So we'll watch him with great interest. Thank you, Erik, for that. We'll give you a little rest, mate, and we'll ask Peter Larson to step forward to the microphone, Peter. And we're going to jump in straight away with a couple of bulls where Peter's got some late-breaking news, and I think that's a new daughter photo that you've found for us on Hamlet there as well, Peter. So I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks. G'day, mates. It's my first time joining this type of webinar with Australian breeders. I'm very pleased to be invited. I've chosen a couple of bulls that I find of interest and that I think fit the Australian market, the breeders, and also your evaluation system quite well. It's the daughter-proven VJ Hamlet, as you can see here, and then a genomic bull later. VJ Hamlet has a very good, strong daughter proof now in Nordic countries, 700 daughters in milk and 400 daughters classified. And it shows that the daughters are doing very, very well and backs up his genomic breeding value as he had earlier. Of course, it can be challenging to find profiles that fit two different systems very well. But I think in Hamlet and a number of other bulls, we've seen that when they become daughter proven, they actually fit in both Australia and here. Hamlet's doing well in US as well, and we test all our bulls in US, and right now 12 out of top 25 daughter proven bulls in US are from VikingGenetics. And I hope in future that we will succeed identifying bulls that fits the Australian system well. And here you can see one, his HWI is 299 and his BBI is 301. So he ranks very well in your system as well. I've highlighted a couple of things on this bull, his hoof health of 115. That's really something that you will notice when using him. His persistency in production, and then the fertility. He's a breed leader for fertility in our system, and that this is something that has a huge impact on the popularity of this bull. I noted the last bullet point, profitability and sustainability profile, because he combines this, both the profitability because he has good production, he increases the percentages, and then he also lowers the costs. So profitability for sure, and sustainability, the fertility, the health, the longevity, and the good long-lasting udders. That's something that fits into a sustainability profile. And then I need to mention as well the feed saved. He's also a very good bull for feed saved in our system. He's out of Notre Dame, of course, and she's just ended her third lactation with 10,100 kilograms of milk, 305 days, and 4.4 protein, 6.4 butterfat. National average is 4.3 protein right now and 6.0 butterfat. So he increases he will increase the percentage in the milk. The daughter that you can see, she's in her first lactation. She's just finalized her first lactation. She made their 6,800 kilos first 2 or 5 days with amazing 4.9 protein and 6.7 butterfat. I cannot ensure you that that's what you will experience from all of the Hamlet daughters, but I can assure you that the percentage in the milk will go up when using Hamlet. This was my comments to Hamlet.
Can I just add one thing in there? In a breed at the moment where fertility is high on the agenda, I just want to reiterate your comment there. 120 NTM for daughter fertility is 2 deviations above average, and his ABV of 108 is very, very strong in our evaluation as well. So I think that's a big part of what's pushed his BPI up over the 300 mark, and I think Australian breeders need to take note of this bull. Anything further from you there, Erik, or have we covered him?
No, I think you've all nutshelled it well there, fellas.
Well done, thank you. Peter, we'll move on to your second bull if you're ready.
I'm ready. And the next one is Casino, and he is actually a more modern type of bull. He's genomic, so no daughters yet, or no daughters in milk yet. We have just gotten the first daughters on the ground, and also we are testing the first sons of Casino, and we have bought the first couple of sons of Casino, so everything looks good. NTM 23 and his BBI and HWI are also at a good high level in your system. His maternal grandsire is Regency Casino that has been used in Australia as well, an American bull that breeds good type. And the breeder of the dam, Adelgard Jerseys, decided to use Casino because they have a small show line in their herd of 400 cows. And out of this show line came this daughter that we wanted to flush, and ended up being Casino with a K instead. And in the Viking Jersey population, approximately 1/3 of the genes come from US and 2/3 from Denmark. There's a little more American genetics in this bull, but it actually just makes him more attractive in some markets. He is a super bull on conformation type. He has got the capacity. He breeds about the width and the depth. He got very, very strong feet and legs. He's a really good improver on those traits related to feet and legs, and also the others. So I can assure you that in the end, you will love working with the Casinos in the parlor, but also in the show ring. I think there's a pretty good chance that you will start to see some daughters of a Viking Jersey bull actually breeding the type that you would like to show. We do not breed for showing as such. We breed profitability, sustainability, healthy cows. But when you can combine it all, well, that's just ideal. And we all love to look at pretty looking cows. In this case here, I also mentioned profitability and sustainability because he is a good all-rounder that can improve on all what relates to both profitability and sustainability. So give him a chance. He's A2, and that also counts for Hamlet that you saw before. Unfortunately, he's 8B for capication. Our aim is that all of our bulls should actually be A2 and BB, and we are getting there. Approximately 80-85% of the bulls, they are A2 and BB. So the ratio is going up all the time. We also have an aim of all our bulls being purebred jerseys. They are. All of our bulls are free of genetic defects or lethals. So it makes the choice easier for you as a farmer. You don't need to consider purity. You don't need to consider whether they are carriers of this and that. they are free.
That's right.
Yes.
They're free of all the bad things. They're not quite free. You have to pay for them, but they're free of all the bad things.
Yes.
But I think it's my job as country manager to point out that we don't give it away.
No, not for free. No, I forgot to mention this daughter. No, not daughter. Casino. She scored excellent 92, and she has finalized her first lactation with 7,400 kilos of milk, 4.4 protein, 6.1 fat. She is out of, or she's bred by Adelgard jerseys, and Adelgard jerseys, as I mentioned, have a small group of cows in their show line, and they were very successful at national show this year, being master breeders.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Pete. And we'll roll into the next ball, which is domino for Erik to pick up on. But don't go anywhere, Peter. Stay right there. If you've got anything that you can throw in the pot as we go through a few Jersey bulls. Back to you, Erik.
It says Domino's new, but of course he was new at the start of the year, but the year's still going. So, look, a good NTM sire, good milk and components, combining both of those. And I think it needs to be mentioned too that his dam also has an average of over 7,000 litres at a 6.47 and a 4.24 protein. 735 kilos of solids from 7,000 litres. It's pretty damn profitable milk. I just admire the Danish Jersey, how good each litre of milk is from these cattle. And certainly something that we can get a lot of benefit from in Australia with, milk cartage and all that sort of thing. I mean, it's just such high quality milk. They're just a very unique breed that should be taken advantage of. But as usual, most of the Jersey bulls we select for here, a little larger in the frame. That sort of tends to what we go for. Make a comment if you disagree, but I hear lots of people say my Holsteins are too big, but no one ever says, oh, my damn jerseys are too big and need to cut their stature back. No one seems to say that. So we're not chasing a Holstein by no means, but we just want a nice sized cow and keep those qualities of milk and components that they already have. It'd be a shame to throw a heap of milk into there and lose that unique quality of the Jersey. So he's also very good for udder health, which is important for Jersey too. You have to watch the udder health on Jersey with that higher component milk. They can be a little bit more prone to, mastitis problems, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, but, higher testing milk, you need to breed for those health traits to keep your milk at a high standard. So that's Domino. Jojo, the next bull. Jojo, same again, taller cows with great udders, free milking, very calm daughters, milking speed 1.7 deviations faster, and temperament 1.3 deviations calmer. I'm talking deviations because when you get a deviation, that's significant. That's when you noticeably see differences. There again, in Denmark, his daughter average is to be 8,000 litres at almost 6% fat and 4.28 protein, 805 kilos of solids. Again, now, like I said, I'm not saying, of course, we're not going to get that in Australia, but it shows you these cattle have the potential. If you want to feed them, you can get them to give as much as you want. So it's up to you what you want to get out of them. But so they certainly have that genetic ability to give a lot of milk, a lot of components, and we've got the type there as well. And you need to watch for that type on the Danish index because, like I think I said earlier this year, that's the high reliability. You're looking at 65, 70%. At the moment, when you look on Databat on ABVs, you look at confirmation reliability is about 20%. So hence the number's not very good. So I would be following the high reliability if you want the best results.
That's a very fair comment. We've got to invest a bit of time into getting more type evaluation into the Australian database to lift that accuracy, and we'd expect to see that those numbers rise with the accuracy. So, excellent.
Okay, now Habit, the next bull. Now this is a bull. Excuse me. We got some years ago, and he's come through. You might like to add a little bit of this bull if you'd like to, Peter. It's up to you. But he's it came up well on the Australian index as 302 BPI, and he's got daughter fertility in Australia for Jerseys 111 on the Jersey ABVs, which is very, very high. And of course, it's 1.6 deviations higher on the Danish system as well. So stature's +2 of a deviation, and so is angularity. So I guess he might be a little bit different to some of the Jersey bulls in that there must be quite a lot more dairy, like angularity +2 deviations. I'd say they'd be tall and very dairy. Super feet and legs +2 deviations stronger, and 1.5 deviations for udders. So he's a pretty well-rounded sire, I would think. Peter, have you got anything to add on Habit or not?
No, well, the only thing that I need to add is that he has died, and that of course we have a little semen in stock, but we will have to do with that. But he did sort of surprise me a little bit on the positive side, so I should have kept him longer. Yeah, so he's a bull that's just he sort of popped up through the catalogue, and we need to watch him. And I'd like to finish on another polled side, Dan P. He's a bull also with a lot of style and health, very, very good udder health, which is so important again in the Jersey breed, any breed really, but very high in the Jersey rankings. Mastitis resistance and udder health +2 deviations, so that's really, really strong. He's greater a deviation greater for stature, and 0.5 deviation stronger for chest. And the udders are quite snug and nice too at a deviation stronger. So if you're looking for a bit of pole, you don't have to use ugly bulls to get poles, and we only bring pole bulls that we think are as good as the other bulls. So that's why we don't flood our catalogue with them, but they have to be there on their own merit, not just have the ability to give no horns or 50% horns. They've got to be good bulls, and Dan P's up there with them. So that's my little presentation there on the jerseys. Thank you.
Well done, Erik, and thank you very much, Peter. And it would be remiss of me if I didn't jump back to Habit. And as Peter said, there's limited semen, and the bulls not giving any more these days. We only have a modest stash of semen, conventional semen here in Australia on Habit. He did, I guess, surprise us a little bit, Pete, where he has jumped to 302 on BPI, and his, now I've lost my glasses, his fertility score of 111, as Erik pointed out. So really the Viking jerseys are coming through, delivering the fertility that we've promised for so long, and we can now see it coming through in that evaluation. So those Jersey breeders that are keen to use that fertility that's being offered on those Jersey bulls in Habit, get in quick before we run out. We'll try to get more for next year, but it's a limited supply for the spring. We'll move on to the VikingReds, and we will bring to the microphone Jakob Voergaard, and it's a very warm welcome to you, Jakob. Jacob's going to start off with a bull that was sampled here in an arrangement we had with Genetics Australia. They took him on as a young sire, and they distributed some semen, but he has now come back to us as a proven bull in the Nordic countries, and so we've decided to return him to the market, and we'll throw it over to you, Jakob, to explain why.
Thank you very much, Jim, and hey everybody, it's lovely to be here and talk a little bit about the red, and taking in Vilperi as a young sire was a very, very good decision. He's coming well out in our system, and have now close to 1,500 milking daughters in the Nordic country with more than 500 classified. So start to be a good proven sire. and he done very good. So if you're really looking for functional cows, he is a bull you need to consider very much. Have extremely high fertility in our system, and I'm sure he will also have that in our Australian system when he get more cows in your system. 122, that's more than 2 standard deviation better than average in our system. You will also get good calving trait. His daughter is easy to calve. They have a good udder health, and then they have a very good temperament, so they're easy to work with, which make this very good functional cow. But a good functional cow is not very good if not also have a good looking animal to work with. Vilperi daughter will have a good frame, a larger frame, good capacity in it. There will be some good feet and legs for the walking. And then we have some good udders, and especially the front udder is very, very good attached to the body. So overall, a very good new proven sire into the system. Many countries have picked him up as a great bull. He already been selling 94,000 doses around the world, mainly as a genomic bull. So he's in our top 3 seller at the moment here when we look on the genomic area. And if we're looking on the pedigree with Vilja as a sire, we can see that they are doing excellent, the Vilja sons. We have 5 Vilja sons. 2 other have also got proof now in our Nordic system, Vimo with 31 NNTM, and Violin with 29 NNTM, so doing very, very well. And then we are waiting for Venom and Vario, and all 5 of the bulls are still alive because we trust so much in them, and they're doing so well that we kept them to being alive when they got the daughter proof. The dam the Grand Dam was a good cow. She produced more than 50,000 kilo in her lifetime, and that was with very high percentage in the milk, so a good payment from her in the milk. And the mother was into the station, the donor station. If I'm looking on the daughters in our country, I saw one of them at the national show, and if just they are half as good as she was, you can look forward to some very, very good daughters.
Erik, have you got anything you'd like to add on Vilperi? I'm going to throw one little comment in, and I guess that's my job as country manager, that semen has arrived just in the last week, and it's available. We'll start delivering that semen on some of the early orders, both sexed and conventional. So if you want to use Vilperi in your program and catch up with the popularity around the rest of the world, we're ready to take your orders, folks. Erik, have you got anything you'd like to add?
Oh, just that I'm excited about him and the V-sires, which I'll touch on a little bit more later. But that daughter fertility of 122 on NTM, just don't underestimate. That is absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen a red bull, particularly a proven one. I don't think even genomic with a score that high. So that's quite phenomenal. But before this proof even came out, not long ago, I've had red enthusiasts ringing saying, "Oh, you're getting any more semen of Vilperi because the daughters are in and we really like them." So they're very more than pleased when I said the bull's still alive. We've got semen available for spring. So that's all I have to add on that.
Excellent. Thank you, Erik. And we'll jump to your next bull, another proven bull, Jakob.
Yeah, here I took in Fan of P. He's been proven for a bit of time now, getting more daughters in with more than 2,300 milking daughters and more than 1,000 classified daughters in our Nordic country. And here we are seeing our top seller. Fan of P was the first bull in the genomic area crossing the magical limit of 100,000 sold doses, and that's all around the world. US, Australia, New Zealand, many different countries around Europe. So he's doing very, very well, and he's on more than 121,000 sold doses now. So he's popular in many places around the world, and I understand why. We have a polled bull here with a high production, increasing very much in milk volume. So if you're really looking for a larger volume, he is definitely a bull to go after. But at the same time, he have a low use of feed in the metabolic part, meaning that he's very good at converting feed into milk. So he's using less feed on more milk. And this is on real data. It's not scientific data from research farm. This is data based on our camera system in normal herds, picking in their everyday work. So this is true feed efficiency data, and we have that for all 3 breeds. So I'm very pleased that we are the only red breed in the world with a real feed efficiency index. On top of that, the Fan of P, they will have easy calving. He's good at, he can be used at heifers, but also the daughters will have good calving traits. And together with this high production, I'm very pleased to see that he's also positive in fertility. And then there is a very good survival for both young stock and also as a calf. So a very big lifetime production with a high longevity and a good production. Right now, what we see is that we have the sons have done it very well. You've known some of them with Fusi P and Fassi P. But also the sons after him is now coming in. Some of them is even double polled, and I'm quite excited about those coming in. So there will be a lot of good polled genetic after Fan of P that will come in, and a lot of it is also A2. So we are looking very much forward to them. On the dam side, the Fan of Dam did it excellent, more than 50,000 kilo produced in her lifetime, high protein percent, classified 86 overall. And the only reason why she didn't produce more was that the farm where she was stopped in her 5th lactation, she was moved to another farm that didn't breed animals. They just milked and slaughtered them, and that's why she only passed 50,000 and didn't reach the 100,000. She was a cow with that capacity.
Did I hear you say 5% protein?
No, just high protein, not 5%.
Oh, sorry,
unfortunately, that could have been extremely nice, but just high protein. But I also have to say I've seen some daughters after Fanoff in crossbreeding herds, and they are looking absolutely gorgeous. So I'm sure they will do excellent. So I'm very confident both in crossbreeding and pure breeding he would do excellent.
Good.
Very good. Thank you there. Now, look, we are getting close on time, but we'll keep running through these red sires, and we've actually got a question come in from a listener. Just as we go through these red sires, Erik and Jakob, if you could please make reference to calving ease. The questioner has had some larger calves in the past and is just keen to make sure that he understands the calving ease offered from these bulls as we go through. So we'll try and answer that question in the conversation as we keep running through these last minutes and a few more bulls. So we will,
okay.
If I can I'll get it to move. There we go. Throw up. Now you guys can both participate on this fella. Go for it.
Okay. Well, I'll just kick it off, Jakob. You'd like to come in there too, because you've no doubt seen a lot of throw up daughters. I was excited about this guy having NTM 32 proven. He got as high as 36, I believe. Excuse me, as a proven bull, which is phenomenal for a proven bull. A big BPI bull. Now, the calving ease, of course, you don't get calving ease data on reds on ABV, so you have to look for the NTM. And you look in, basically, if it's over 100, it's generally okay. But we go deeper into the index and we look into the index is more in depth. You just see calving ease, but there's calf, there's survival, there's calving ease, there's calf size, right? So first maiden heifers and later lactation. So we've got all that data. And whoever asked that question, basically, if you go above 100, you're fine generally. But if you want a super calving ease bull, just give me a call or contact me, because I've got the data there. And if you're worried about problems, I certainly can find you bulls that are conventional. You can put them on your maiden heifers, because I've got the data there to back it all up. I'm very confident with it. That's on that. Now, throw up.
Also, if I could just quickly jump in,
Jakob.
in the back page of the red section of the catalogue, there is a summary of all the data for NTM and ABVs on all of the red bulls. So you'll find the calving ease score on each of these bulls based on the Nordic evaluation in our catalogue. So I'll point you in that direction. I hope that answers your question. Fire on there, gentlemen.
Yeah, because we're just hitting a few highlights. It's all in the catalogue. Stick above that 100. Jakob, I'd like you to say a bit more on throw up, seeing as you would have seen daughters.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't seen so many daughters because he was not used that high. He's one of the bulls that have been surprising us. When he got his proof, he was a lot better. But I've heard from farmers having them, and they're very, very impressed with them. And right now, his son, Frodo, just got the indexes also. 128, I think it is, a proven sire with a very good all-round profile, which is an important thing for a farmer also to have bulls that you can use widely out. So his profile is giving to the next generation. I'm sure he do the same with the cows. Just a comment according to calving. When you're crossbreeding, and for example, if you have a Holstein where you put in red, you need to be aware of the calving traits. We have seen in some Holstein pedigrees problem with maternal calving. And when we're talking about crossbreeding, we also have heterosis of the calf, so it will be a little bit bigger. So when you're picking out bulls using in crossbreeding, when you start in pure Holstein, it is a little bit important to look on the calving traits, the direct calving traits, and I'm sure we can find bulls that would do very well here.
Jakob, thank you for mentioning that, because the questioner, I forgot to say, the questioner was asking specifically about crossbred. So thank you for pointing that out, that you do need to lean a little harder on that calving ease index for crossbreds.
Yep, just contact us. We can give you the exact bulls you need to use. Now, I will add on throw up Ron Graham, who's the Boland's herd, Aussie Reds, who one of the leading herd of Reds in Australia. Ron's been breeding Reds for 45 years. And he just loves throw up. They're using him into their second year, and his comment were they're among the best cars he's ever seen in his life for vitality and growth. He just thinks they're sensational. Next one, Capri. This I popped this one in because we haven't talked about Capri for quite a few years. He was an old Cigar son. Cigar was a very popular sire here in Australia, and he's only $14, which is excellent value. But we put him in because he's funny. The bulls just kept rising on BPI, and he's now almost cracked 300, which is getting up in the elite for red bulls. And he's just, you look at his proof, have a look at his ABV, because his mammary score's 107, fertility's 103, fat plus protein 48. And his feet and legs are 109, and foot angle 108, and rear view 108. So really good feet and legs, mammary. Just cows that are a little smaller and very efficient cows. So we've just popped him in there because there he is. He's just come up again. He's a bull that's sold for quite a few years, and he's risen to a level now where he needs a little bit of attention. So look out for VR Capri. Next one is Upra. I might have to rush these a little bit, so please forgive me because we are running out of time. We did do these in the spring, but he's sort of specialised. He sold out really early in the autumn. He was very, very popular. We've got more semen, so it's great. Just super good for rear udder height and width, plus 2 deviations for both, because our Reds can use a bit of that. We can use a bit more capacity and width and height in the rear of the udders, I believe. And he's also a feet and leg improver, which is also good. So that's Upra. I'll just go a little bit quicker, Jim. Next one is Abin. He's a bull with milking components, solids. I do. I just love the dark red and white. It looks great. Not that it means much, I suppose, but we all like things that look good. All his health traits are positive, and he's got quality fore and rear attachments. And his calving ease is very good. Someone was asking about calving ease before, 106. He would be fine. And he's got good lactation persistence as well. That's Abin. The next bull, Hackman. I touted him in this autumn as elite daughter fertility 114, and then bang, here comes Bill Perry at 122. So I don't know if there's a better word than elite, but Bill Perry sure has it. But anyway, Hackman's got very good daughter fertility. They're a touch smaller cows, and they're very dairy. I say that because you look at his feet and legs, are very clean boned and angular. He's a sound udder improver by a deviation, and he improves longevity of health. ex-bull Venom. So I've been able to power along a bit here. Venom.
Cool.
Another one of
Julian
these
P.
people. Oh, sorry, Julian P.
You jump one?
I jumped ahead. A P bull, there again, we only bring in the ones that are as good as the non-polled size. He got a decent BPI at 327, and on ABVs, he's almost 70 kilos of fat plus protein, so a big production bull. Positive for mastitis, cell count, fertility and survival, and good mammary at 102. So utilise Julian P. He's got a lot to offer for a polled sire, and but all the other traits, not just 50% calves without horns. So the last one, Venom. Sorry, I'm getting a bit hoarse in the throat. He's another one of the V size called a Villiers son, and as Jakob mentioned before, the Varios, the Vilperries, the Vimos, all are alive. This one's breathing right down the neck of Vilperry with fertility. He's only got 60-odd daughters in his proof right now, but next year we'll have a full picture of him, and he's got even better than he was on genomics. His daughter fertility is currently at 121. I think as genomic he was about 116 or 17. He's risen now with more daughters, which is super. And he's not the tall one. His stature's about 95, and chest and body are 113 and 14 respectively. So you've got a deviation, only 2 deviations difference there. So if you want a shorter, more powerful animal, which most do, nice square cows like little D6 bulldozers, Venom's going to be your man, and we'll eagerly be watching him into autumn next year. He may well be coming back here as a top proven sire as well, the way he's going. And I think that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Well done, Erik, and thank you, Jakob. Sorry, Jakob, do you have something
just a small comment about Venom, because if you look at his fertility, it's correctly, as Erik said, is still genomic. But on the heifers, we start to have quite much information on them. And if you look on the interval from first to last insemination for heifers, he's have an index in our system on 126, so 2.5 standard deviation better. And the amount of insemination, he have an index on 120. So already now he's proving very, very good fertility on the heifers with this proven data now. And they have gone up the last proof. So I very much trust in that his fertility will stay on this very nice high level.
A wise man once said to me when I was quite young, if you ain't got fertility, you ain't got nothing. And here these V-bulls are really coming through with the goods for us. So we'll just finish up quickly with a quick reference to our Danish blue bulls. And I can see here that the last edit I put on that slide didn't actually save. So that's a little embarrassing. But the bottom line of these 3 Danish blue bulls is that you can throw a blanket over the 3 of them. They do perform much the same. We've brought the Danish blues in to offer a dairy beef option. These cattle are, yes, they are the same breed as the Belgian blues that our customers would be more familiar with, but in Denmark, there is not a blue that is allowed to stay in the herd book if they are born via cesarean section. In other parts of the breed, they usually come out the side door until there are no more side doors to come out. So the calving ease emphasis on these cattle for dairy crossing is significant. In the last 5 years, there are 110,000 recorded calvings by these Danish blue bulls in Holstein cows. So the data is from dairy cattle. There's 25,000 calf recordings and calving ease recordings from Jersey cows. I didn't get the data on the red, sorry, Jakob, but we're actually getting really high accuracy calving ease data. But most importantly, and I beg your pardon, the calving ease data differentiates between lactation 1 being heifers and lactation 2+ being older cows. So detailed calving ease from dairy cattle. But for us, for the dairy farmer, the key piece of the puzzle for these cattle is their short gestation length. People are using other beef breeds with a longer gestation length, and you're losing days in milk. So when you use these blues, the semen is not expensive, but you're also keeping days in milk for, in the instance of VB Nito here, a 278 gestation length, where your average Holstein is 280, I think 283 on jerseys and 284 on reds. You guys will correct me if I got that wrong. Nope, they're not correcting me, so I must have got it right. So, folks, the reason we brought these in is yes, they're high yielding, high growing, really vital calves, but our focus is on a beef breed that can naturally deliver a short gestation and make sure you don't lose days in milk and keep your calving as compact as possible. So that's the last slide we have. I do apologise to all our participants that we have gone over time. We have had a few questions, and I think we've got a couple of follow-ups we'll do afterwards on those questions. There will be a follow-up email with a link to the recording and a link to the online catalogue. Now, if you don't think you're on our mailing list and you would like to receive the paper copy, please respond with an email to us. Let us know your postal address, and your name would be good as well. It's nice to be friendly. So we would like to send you that catalogue in the mail out as it goes out either this week or next week. We would also very much like to thank participants from across the globe, our two special guests in Denmark, our very special guest in Sweden. I do note that in the participants, we've got a few people peeping in on what we're doing from across the ditch in New Zealand. So up late tonight in New Zealand, and we're very keen to see you there, and you're very welcome. Thank you, everybody, for the questions and the chat. Erik and I, whilst we're in our independent soundproof booths here in Viking Central in downtown Wodonga, we are here in the same place, so it looks like we're separate, but we're actually here together. And so on behalf of the pair of us, we'd like to thank everybody for their participation. We look forward to talking with you individually as the spring follows on, and talk about your individual breeding programs and breeding needs, and look forward to supplying you some high quality semen from the Nordic countries. So without anything further, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving us your time. We're very grateful to have that opportunity, and we bid you a very good night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.